I am honored to announce the winners of this year's Signal Awards, a distinguished cohort of storytellers, reporters, creators, and innovators who represent the very best of what podcasting can be. From investigative work that pulls back the curtain on power to intimate personal essays that make the personal universal and cultural commentary that reframes how we see the world, this year's winners reflect back why podcasting has become not just relevant, but essential. In an era of fractured attention and manufactured consensus, they've built something real, stories that demand to be heard, and listeners who show up to hear them. As we celebrate these honorees, we're also celebrating you, the listeners, creators, and industry professionals who make this ecosystem thrive. Your engagement, your curiosity, and your commitment to quality continue to drive this medium forward.
We also want to give a big shout out to people that we know and in this space also and that have won. Want to give big shout out to Jamie Kerr-Lima, to Katie Couric, to Kiki Palmer, to Chrissy Teigen, to Emma Grade, sorry, and to the Obamas, brother and sister. Congratulations. Well deserved.
We rise, we shine. Magic rising, strong and free.
From jam jars to business empire, inside Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, entrepreneurial journey. A royal recipe for success. Picture this. It's 2020, the world is in lockdown, and in Montecito, in a kitchen, a former actress, now Duchess, is doing something unexpected. She's making jam. Not just any jam or preserves, but what would become the foundation of a business empire that would sell out in just under an hour. And then, again, it would sell out in under 4 hours. And also, leaving customers around the globe trying to figure out how to get their hands on the product. This is the untold story of how Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, went from wearing Birkenstocks and sweats at home to building one of the most anticipated lifestyle brands in recent memory. And in a rare, candid conversation with Fortune's magazine's Alison Chantal, she's pulling back the curtain on the messy, beautiful reality of being a first-time founder. Welcome. This is Majesty's Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us.
Free. Voices proud in harmony. Truth forever, crowned in gold. Our story lives, it can't be told. We rise, we shine. Magic in our time. We shine. This crown is yours and mine.
Our next guest, which is why there is such a packed room. So, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, has held various roles over the years. Actor, Duchess, obviously, podcaster, philanthropist. She has her own TV show. She has executive produced. She recently added a new title to her resume, which is why she's here with us today. Founder, and that's because earlier this year she launched As Ever, a brand inspired by her love of cooking and entertaining. Alison Chantal, Fortune's editor-in-chief and chief content officer, joins Meghan, Duchess of Sussex to discuss this newest venture and also how Meghan plans to leverage her incredibly significant influence for long-lasting impact in the business world and beyond. Please welcome them to the stage.
Let's rewind 5 years ago when Meghan and Prince Harry relocated to California. Most people assumed they had some master business plan ready to go, ready to execute. The reality? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. There was no plan. Meghan admits with refreshing honesty. It was just us trying to get through the next couple of years, she said. Here's what makes this remarkable. While the world watched and speculated, Meghan was simply surviving, nesting with a toddler, pregnant with her second child, Princess Lilibeth, healing from that incredible public life transition. And you all know the trauma that she was going through with the lawsuit with that particular family and the media on that island, and trying to build community at the same time in Montecito. It was all a new environment. She didn't have the bandwidth, she said, to put in any kind of thinking about the big picture dream. She was exhausted. This vulnerability is something every entrepreneur can relate to. How many of us have felt pressure to have it all figured out from day one? Megan's journey reminds us that sometimes the best business strategy is simply taking care of what's in front of you first.
Well, I think 5 years ago was a very different situation for all of us. And, Archie was so little. And I had just gotten pregnant with Lily around that same time. So we were nesting and healing. And also, I don't even know I had the bandwidth at that time to think about what the big picture dream was. There was no plan. It was just, let's get through these next couple years, create community, which was always so important to both of us in our new environment. And then as we started to get into our producing through our deal with Netflix, really creating projects that we felt were compelling. And then I said, okay, I've always loved being able to share. I've always loved being able to cook and entertain. Is there a business here? And I think it was probably most people's assumption that if I was going to go into business, it would be fashion or beauty. But those 5 years at home, I wasn't running around wearing beautiful outfits. I was probably in Birkenstocks and sweats like the rest of us, especially during COVID, or just barefoot at home. But I was making a lot of jam. So it ended up becoming the thing that really was my passion project that I turned into a business.
Amazing. And that became As Ever, which you.
The pivot no one saw coming. Fashion, beauty, these were the obvious choices for someone with Megan's profile and aesthetic sensibility. But here's where her entrepreneurial instincts shine through. She chose to build around what she was actually passionate about and actually doing: cooking, entertaining, and creating a sense of home. I've always loved being able to share. I've always loved being able to cook and entertain. Is there a business there? So that's the question she posed to herself. This is Entrepreneurship 101. Find the intersection between what you love, what you're good at, and what people want. So, what you love, what you're good at, and what people want. But it's rarely executed this purely. It's just magnificent. The sellout problem. Yes, that's actually a problem. Here's where Meghan reveals business acumen that goes beyond celebrity power. When, as ever, first drop sold out in under an hour, most people would pop champagne, which I think she did, and call it a win. But Meghan goes beyond that. Meghan saw it differently, which is amazing. And also, you don't learn a lot about inventory management, supply chains, and all the rest. That's what Meghan said. Think about that for a moment. When you sell out like that, everything within an hour, she's basically saying, which is great, but also you don't learn anything really in regards to the inventory management, supply chain, and the rest. What are people liking more than the other? When everything is sold out, you're like, well, did they like everything? So thinking about how she's already thinking about that, she's recognizing that instead, instant success actually deprived her of crucial data. So they X timed it, or 10X it, sorry. The inventory for the next drop, it sold out in less than 4 hours, which again, it's just absolutely amazing, but also not helpful. The insight here is profound. Meghan isn't just building a brand that can sell out. She's building infrastructure for sustainability, scalability, and growth. She needs to understand consumer behavior, purchasing patterns, and true demand, not just create artificial scarcity. A big thank you to the following recipients of the medal for contributing to the channel within the last month or so with your financial donation. Thank you so very much. I'd like to recognize Eva Bordlin, Tiger Mommy, Lydia Washington, Flor de Yuca, Lydia Evaquez. Now, if I've mispronounced any parts of your names, do forgive me. And thank you. Thank you for your support. It's much appreciated. The Netflix Masterclass, When Content Meets Commerce. One of the most sophisticated elements of Meghan's strategy is how she integrated her Netflix partnership with her business. After her overall deal with Netflix transitioned to a first look deal similar to the Obamas and high ground model, she gained strategic flexibility while maintaining strong support. Here's a brilliant part. Her show with Love, Meghan, doesn't just promote the brand. It educates. It educates consumers on how to use the products. She demonstrates techniques, shares her aesthetics, and creates aspirational content. Then the brand provides the tools for viewers to recreate those experiences at home.
Challenging. And I was hearing you say earlier that you had planned, oh, surely if we 10x this order, we will have this supply for months.
Yes.
Lo and behold, it's only a few hours.
Right.
So how are you navigating building the infrastructure behind the demand that you as a brand can make?
I think a lot of considerations go into which products become limited edition, which ones are going to be in steady state, what really is the brand identity beyond the jam, which, yes, is the hero product. But then as we've gone into different SKUs, flower sprinkles became quite a thing. And that was really complemented by the show. With the series with Love Meghan, I was able to show people what I love to do, and then we had the brand where I could tell them how they could have a lot of those things in their own home. I think it's going to be a continued process, as most founders will find in year one. And holiday, we have to be ready for holiday. So trying to be in steady state for most of the SKUs and really not being able to gauge how things are going to sell out, especially when you have people who have an appetite for the products in global territories, but we aren't selling internationally yet. And so they're finding workarounds where they'll have their friends stock up for them and then ship it to them separately. So the inventory is moving in a way that we hadn't anticipated, which is the biggest blessing.
The social media dilemma, building community in a hostile space. Perhaps the most emotionally resonant part of the conversation is when Meghan discusses her complicated relationship with social media. And I don't think anyone, if they would be honest, would say they don't know that or understand that. You will always have those that, live in their own fantasy. So let dogs be dogs. This is someone who has been subjected to unprecedented online harassment. Yet she recognizes that if you can show up in these spaces and be one on the side of good, there is tremendous value. Her solution is ingenious. She turned off comments to protect herself, her team, and her supporters from negativity. But then she faced a new problem. How do you create community without conversation? Her answer:
I don't know. The last time I was on Instagram, you guys, boomerang was a thing. That was a long time ago. So having started in January, I just started to explore and play in the same way that anyone else does when they're online. I just happened to do it with a little bit more attention on what I was doing.
Yeah, it's a hard decision to make because obviously people want to be hearing from you, but then they have lots of opinions that they stick in there that are not welcome, not helpful. And I'm curious, as you are, founders always have to look for signals in what's working, what's not working, how do I tinker, how do I pivot? How are you able to decipher out like the constructive from obviously the not constructive that you need to ignore?
Well, there are certain things that I've done just for my own self-preservation, but also that I've applied to the brand and for the people that are incredibly supportive. I know, the question can be around naysayers, but if you really see the groundswell of support that surrounds the brand and me, that's what I feel the most, and that's what I appreciate. But by design, I also recognize that a lot of those people aren't going to my page to see negativity. And so not just protecting myself or the people that work with me, but also the supporters, so I don't have the comment section on. That's a choice. And yet part of that challenge that I was trying to solve for was, then how do I create community? That is so key to this brand, and it's so key to how I like to show up in the world. How do we actually connect if you can't have comments and exchange? So my social media manager would send me screen grabs of different things that people were posting in their UGC. And I said, okay, what am I going to do here? They said, you could do a text overlay and respond. And I said, oh no, in the same way that on my own camera roll at home, I'll zoom in and I can scribble a little note and send it to a friend. I've just started this construct where I will start writing in my handwriting a note to users who put up content. So I said, let's find small and creative ways to engage the community and let them know that I'm listening, that I really see and appreciate their feedback. So I think a lot of it is just designing what works best for you while also being really cognizant of what is going to help grow the business with an intentional and authentic point of view. And that's what I'm constantly working to try to achieve.
The retail strategy patience as power. When asked about retail expansion, would we see as ever in Target? Meghan reveals strategic thinking that contradicts the get big fast mentality of many startups. She plans to start with bespoke small retail collaborations and interesting ones in global territories before moving to larger retailers in the next couple of years. Why? Because the brand is about getting back to things that are tactile, how we connect with each other. We want to put your hands on it, right? She's building what she calls a mastique brand, accessible but with a quality that feels premium. That positioning requires careful curation of the retail experience. 100%. 100%.
This white man gets on my nerves. So I am supposed to believe that the same man who called his own mother paranoid just a while ago now actually cares about mental health? Because his mother was out here airing it out in that interview, in that infamous interview when she called out the press and the royal family for the abuse she suffered, the threat to her life, and how incredibly scared she was, and for the right reasons. Her own son, William, this man, this thumb on foot, went on to say that she was paranoid. And I'm supposed to believe that he actually now cares about preventing suicide? We're talking about the man who instigated a whole smear campaign against his own little brother and his sister-in-law. But I am now supposed to believe that he's emotional about preventing suicide? We're talking about the same man who encouraged the press to diminish Meghan's experience in the royal family and to actually make fun of Meghan when she went on to express how she herself had dealt with thoughts of self-exiting while she was in the royal family and while she was pregnant. But I'm supposed to believe that this same man cares deeply about preventing suicide. This is some load of bullshit. And not only that, it just dawned on me that it might be a way for the royal family or for William to not only appear better, in the press, but also to, like he usually does with his lame-ass wife, copy Harry and Meghan. Because Harry and Meghan have a whole, organization created solely for the betterment of social media to create a safer space, and they work with parents who unfortunately lost their kids due to harassment on social media and those things like that. They just won an award 2 days ago, and now all of a sudden William wants people to hold him as a banner of representation of the prevention of suicide. William, fuck you.
Leadership lessons from crew of 200 to team of less than 10. Meghan's last significant team experience was on the set of Suits, where she worked with a crew of 200 people for 7 years. Now, she's deliberately keeping her core business team under 10 people. Why? Well, because she wants to. And the way she looks at it is it's a great soundboard of varied perspectives, people who will push back, creative and savvy team members in areas outside her skill set, the ability to maintain life work balance. She still chaperones first grade field trips. But don't mistake a lean team for lack of involvement. Meghan is hands on with everything. How do we adjust our margins? What does our spend look like? Really going through P&L. These are all things that she's looking at. She's both the creative visionary and the operational CEO, a rare combination that she views as essential. And she said, for any founder in year one that had the ambition to scale in the way that I do. So if you want to scale in the way she does, she's saying, listen, you have to have your hands in both things.
For final question, I know financial independence has always been important to you, and you've said that it's the most empowering thing. I agree. And I think all the women in this room who are incredibly hardworking, every job is hard, but these career women also would agree. How do you think about that? Because you had a whole career very successful before you got married. You're having a whole other career now. What's the importance of financial independence to you?
Well, financial independence is what gives you the freedom of choice. And I think in this day and age, we all need to be able to have our autonomy. That is a huge element of that. Financial literacy, for that reason, is something that I spend a lot of time on, specifically for young girls and their empowerment. And I think as women, especially in a room like this, we can all probably agree that as women, when we're supporting each other for all of these elements that might not necessarily be the ones that people want to hear us talk about, there's nothing taboo. Doesn't need to be anything taboo about talking about our financial independence or our independence overall. And as women, when we support each other, we are not simply supporting each other's lives, we're supporting each other's legacies. And that's the piece that's so powerful. When I'm supporting or investing in another female founder, I am investing in what she is going to do for the culture, for her business, the legacy she's going to leave, how that brand, if it's a CPG brand, is going to show up in people's homes. So it is all fundamentally important, and I don't think it's a conversation we should shy away from. I think it's one that we should really embrace together.
Thank you, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex.
Thanks,
Such an honor to have
Allison.
you with us today.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody. Have a great time. Thank you.
What emerges from this conversation is a portrait of someone who is building a business with unusual intentionality. Meghan isn't trying to be the next Goop or Martha Stewart, though comparisons are inevitable. She's building something that reflects her actual values, her actual life, and actual challenges. From her past jobs doing calligraphy, wearing white tube socks on her hands to avoid oil stains on expensive paper, to teaching gift wrapping at Paper Source. She's always been someone who finds beauty in the details and takes pride in craft. As ever, is the natural evolution of that sensibility. The confessions of this female founder, well, that there was no master plan, that success can be its own problem, that protecting your mental health sometimes means turning off comments, that you can be a CEO who reviews P&Ls and chaperone field trips, that the goal isn't just to build a business, it's to build a legacy while supporting other women to build theirs. 5 years after arriving in Montecito, with no plans, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, has created something remarkable. A business built not on who people expected her to be, but on who she actually is. And in an age of personal branding and manufactured authenticity, that might be the most valuable insight of them all. The holiday special of With Love, Meghan arrives, she tells us, this November on Netflix. As ever, products continue to sell out faster than inventory can scale. Again, a nice problem to have. And a problem that Meghan is determined to solve. One thoughtful business decision at a time. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is a whole bunch of us very, very proud of you. What an excellent, excellent conversation. Two things immediately came to mind as I watched the episode, or rather the interview. First is how incredibly articulate, quick thinking, and composed Megan is in expressing her thoughts and her opinions. She's just so eloquent, and I hate I hate and I hesitate to even use that word because it is true that she is those things. But those words many times are also used in certain contexts, and it's laden with prejudice and racism. Too often it's said when the unspoken implication that someone isn't expected to be that way, to be eloquent. And that's where stereotypes creeps in. But I say this with the utmost sincerity. And in contrast to how she is often mischaracterized in the media, especially the British one. Now imagine for a moment, a second, if this same conversation had taken place with someone else, someone the British media tends to write all these projecting goodness about, someone certainly deluded. I mean, they would have us believe that this person is the one with the grace, is the one who is intellectual and who's eloquent. But that's just not the reality. Megan speaks with poise, thoughtfulness, intelligence. She's composed, and yet while she's showcasing clear business acumen and authenticity, the press in the UK and elsewhere, they just spit out one article after another, labeling her a narcissist or some false claim that she lied here or there or exaggerated, whatever. It's exhausting. I'll tell you, it's exhausting sometimes. Just give it a rest. Honestly, give it a rest. It's like it's like pretending, right? It's like pretending someone is a pilot who isn't a pilot and then insisting they fly the plane while sidelining the actual pilot because of your own biases. When it's time to take off, who do you really trust? Who do you really want to be in the cockpit? But acknowledging the truth about Megan, giving her credit where it's due, is for some simply not an option. Not an option. Because racism, hatred wouldn't let them. And I'll be honest, I have this theory. I suspect, though I can't prove it, none of it, that some of these media outlets write these pieces and they write them with the intention that it's William and his wife, and then swap in Harry and Meghan's name before publication because the level of projection is unreal. The cosplay. I mean, they say imitation is the highest form of flattery. This is not flattery anymore. It's evidence of a certain void, a lack of originality, of sincerity, of genuine thought. And let's not even get into the so called advice the king is supposedly getting. Well, the future king. I mean, honestly, if that's the best he's got, he should tell his friend, his very best friend, his very close friend, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a very, very, very close friend, but that friend should take his head out of somewhere and put it somewhere else. Honestly, he's a grown man, and his choices, living his life, right? All I want is for them to just leave Meghan and Harry and their family alone. Do your thing over there. Stop imitating. Stop trying to. Ugh. It's like they think the rest of us are just a bunch of moronic, idiot, stupid people. Oh, let me drop that because I'm going on in a tangent here. I want to say to everyone supporting this channel, I see you. I see you. I see your efforts. Every like, every comment, every share, you're helping this community grow, and that means the world to me. Honestly, it's I, I don't know why this happens to me every time. Um, it's like having a child, you know, and you pour your heart and soul, and you do everything you can for this child, and you want him to do well. And sometimes, you put it out in the world, and you, sometimes things are not as you would like them to be because there's so many things coming, and stuff happens, right? And you feel for your child because all you want is the best for this child. But there are a bunch of people, oh man, who I know, all of you, are just really great people, and thank you. I cannot thank you enough. Connie Bomber, I see you. I see you. Connie, I love seeing Connie comments, and she's like, "Everyone, make sure you watch the entire episode, or like and share and all of that stuff. Become a member if you can." Thank you to all of you, because every little thing you do counts. Next, for people who are not premium of YouTube, I only realized this a little while ago. Someone told me that there's actually commercials that you see, like ads that you see. So I didn't have ads before on my thing, but then the platform automatically now puts ads on them. If you're not a premium or whatever it's called, and you see the ads, I did request for you to be able to skip them. If you don't mind, if you can watch like maybe one or two or three of them, just watch it through, and then the rest you can skip. That also helps, right? It helps with whatever, like 10 cents or I don't know, something like that the channel actually ends up getting. And I mean, this sounds kind of whatever, but every penny counts, right? Every incentive that you can do that doesn't cost you anything, um, that will help the channel. I really appreciate that. And let's be honest and frank. I hate doing this stuff. I hate it because it just seems like you're kind of begging people to do things and stuff. And I'm not good at it. I hate doing it. I always rely on, if you like what you see, if you like what we're doing, then just help the channel grow. If you don't, then thank you. you know. But having to sort of like, please help, it's like I feel like Oliver. Please sir. Anyways, thank you so very much. You folks are just amazing and wonderful, and you know how much I love you. Anyways, last thing, I'm going on a tangent here. Last thing is music. So for the music, if you love the music and you listen to the music, may I please ask you a big favor? Go to the music channel, or the channel of the music store on Bandcamp, and you can listen to it there as many times as you want. Okay. Or if you have the premium service from YouTube, excuse me, download it so you can listen to it. Because what also is happening is if you're on the channel and you go back to the music and you only listen to the music for 5 minutes, right? YouTube then believes that you are a person that just came on the channel for 5 minutes. You didn't like anything from the channel. So you stayed 5 minutes and you left. And if, like, for example, you listen to the same song, let's say you listen to the same song once, listen to the same song twice, 3 times, YouTube is seeing that you're not progressing in the timeline. So it's basically thinking, oh, that's some person that's just like watching one thing over and over and over. So it classifies that as just 5 minutes. So that then when they average things out, right? Then it takes away from people who watch the entire thing. You know what I mean? And I know you folks know what I mean. But anyways, go to Bandcamp, and there you can listen to it. You can listen to it as many times as you want. Okay. All right. I'll shut up now. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And take care of yourselves. Okay. Take care of your loved ones. I love you all. May God bless, and bye for now. Mwah.
They've been painted in 1,000 shades, but none can dim the light they've made. They reach for hands the world forgot, and keep on giving, asking not. They speak of peace in a time of rage, when love becomes their quiet stage. Storm keeps coming, but still they stand. Grace unfolding in their hands. Mercy moves where the shadows fall, lifting the lost, answering the call. They keep walking through it all, 'cause mercy moves, and it moves us all. Mercy us all. They've seen betrayal dressed as truth, heard cruelty spoken as proof. Still they hold their heads up high, turning pain into lullabies. Their hearts are weary yet they stay, teaching the world a gentler way. It's not for crowns, it's not for praise, it's for the lives their love will save. Even when the night is long, mercy hums its quiet song. Mercy moves where the shadows fall, healing the hurt, embracing us all. Through every battle, through every war, mercy moves, and it moves us all.